At 48, Blake Shelton has finally stopped denying the rumors that have been swirling around for years. After all the speculation, the country music icon is now opening up in a way fans never expected. What's behind his shocking confession? Join us as we take a look at Blake Shelton's latest roots rise and relationships revelations. Roots, rise, and relationships. Blake Shelton's story begins in the small town of Ada, Oklahoma. Born on June 18, 1976, he grew up in a close-knit community where people knew their neighbors and life moved at a slower pace. His parents, Dorothy and Richard Shelton, lived a modest life. Dorothy ran a beauty salon and Richard sold cars. They weren't musicians, but they always supported Blake's interest in music. From a young age, Blake showed signs of musical talent. He loved to sing and was drawn to country music, which was a big part of life in Oklahoma. But it was his uncle who really helped shape his path. When Blake was 12 years old, his uncle taught him how to play the guitar. That gift changed everything. Blake began practicing regularly, learning how to put chords and melodies together, and soon he was writing his own songs. Blake started performing at local events and fairs. His voice and charm made him a local favorite. He connected easily with people even as a teenager. At just 15, he wrote his first song, and by 16, he had already won the Denbo Diamond Award, an honor given to young entertainers in Oklahoma. It was clear to everyone around him that he had something special. After graduating from high school, Blake knew he needed to take a big step if he wanted to turn his love for music into a real career. So at just 17 years old, he left home and moved to Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville was the heart of country music, and it was where many hopeful artists went to chase their dreams. Blake didn't have much, just his guitar, some savings, and a lot of determination. Life in Nashville wasn't easy at first. Blake struggled like most newcomers. He worked odd jobs, wrote songs during the day, and performed wherever he could find a stage. He was trying to get noticed in an industry full of talented singers. But Blake was persistent. He never gave up, even when things got tough. Eventually, he landed a job at a music publishing company, which helped him build relationships and improve his songwriting. That hard work finally paid off when Giant Records noticed his talent and signed him to a recording contract. In 2001, Blake released his first single, Austin. The song was a heartfelt ballad about lost love and second chances. It struck a chord with listeners and became an instant hit. Austin stayed at #1 in the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart for 5 weeks, a huge accomplishment for a but single. Following the success of Austin, Blake released his first album, Blake Shelton. The album included songs like All Over Me and Old Red, both of which performed well and helped establish his reputation in the country music world. Fans loved his deep emotional voice and the honesty in his lyrics. Blake didn't try to be flashy, but he stayed true to his roots that made him stand out. While Blake's career was taking off, his personal life was also changing. During this time, he married his longtime girlfriend, Ket Williams. Ket had been with Blake before he became famous. They met in Ada, Oklahoma, when they were both young, and she supported him through all the ups and downs of his early career. Their relationship was built on trust and a shared love for the simple life they had grown up with. In 2003, they got married in a quiet ceremony. Blake was becoming more well-known, but he was still finding his way in the music industry. Ket stood by him through it all. She helped him stay grounded and provided support. Ash adjusted to life on the road and in the spotlight. However, as Blake's fame grew, so did the demands of his career that he spent more and more time traveling, performing concerts, doing interviews, and promoting his music. The long separations and the fast-paced lifestyle started to take a toll on their marriage. Ket, who had once been part of every step in his journey, found herself alone more often as Blake's schedule got busier. Blake has been open about the challenges they faced. In interviews, he shared that the pressures of his career made it hard to keep their relationship strong. Despite their efforts to stay together, the strain became too much. In 2006, after 3 years of marriage, Blake and Ket divorced. Their story is often remembered as the quiet beginning of a man who would go on to become one of country music's biggest stars. Let's now look at Blake's relationship with Miranda Lambert and how their love turned into one of country music's most talked about pairings. Miranda Lambert and the rise of a power couple. Blake Shelton's life took another big turn when he met Miranda Lambert. Their story began in 2005 during the CMT 100 Greatest Duets concert. At the time, Blake was married to Ket Williams and Miranda was still an up-and-coming country singer. They were paired to perform the classic duet, "You're the Reason God Made Oklahoma." What happened on stage that night was more than just a performance. It was the start of something big. Blake later admitted in interviews that he felt awestruck right away, even though he knew it was complicated. Miranda also said she felt something special during that performance. But out of respect for Blake's marriage, nothing happened after time. They stayed in touch, and over time their friendship slowly deepened. In 2006, Blake divorced Ket, and not long after he and Miranda began dating. Their relationship quickly captured the attention of fans and the media. Both were rising stars in country music. Blake had already made a name for himself, and Miranda was gaining recognition for her bold songs and strong voice. She had released her debut album Kerosene in 2005, and it was a hit as they started appearing together at award shows, concerts, and on red carpets. The media began calling them the king and queen of country. For fans, they looked like a perfect match. Both were country through and through, honest, talented, and deeply connected to their roots. They even collaborated musically, supporting each other's scares and sharing the stage. Often, their chemistry was clear to everyone who saw them together, whether it was in interviews or during live performances. As their romance grew, so did their fame. Miranda released hit after hit, including Gunpowder and Lead, The House That Built Me, and Mama's Broken Heart. Blake became a coach on The Voice in 2011, which brought him into the homes of millions of viewers each week and made him even more famous. Despite their busy schedules, they continued to make time for each other and appeared to have a strong bond. In May 2011, after 5 years of dating, Blake and Miranda got married. The wedding took place at Arlington, Texas, surrounded by family and close friends. Miranda wore her mother's wedding dress, and the whole day had a relaxed country feel. It seemed like a dream come true for both of them. They often spoke in interviews about the love and how they made things work, even with the challenges of their careers. But behind the scenes, things weren't always easy. Fame can be a heavy burden, and the constant pressure of being in public took a toll on their relationship. Both Blake and Miranda were extremely busy, often traveling in opposite directions for tours and TV appearances. It became harder and harder to spend quality time together. Rumors also began to swirl. There were stories in tabloids about trust issues and possible infidelity on both sides, though neither of them confirmed anything. Some reports said their lifestyles were starting to clash. Blake enjoyed life in Los Angeles when filming The Voice, while Miranda preferred a quieter, more rural lifestyle in Nashville or on her farm in Oklahoma. These differences created tension between them. Despite trying to make things work, Blake and Miranda announced their divorce in July 2015. The news shocked fans and dominated headlines. In a joint statement, they said, "This is not the future we envisioned, and it is with heavy hearts that we move forward separately." The statement was short, but it showed that they had tried to part ways respectfully. After the divorce, both Blake and Miranda opened up in different ways through their music. Miranda's album, The Weight of These Wings, reflected the heartbreak she went through with songs that were raw and emotional. Blake released If I'm Honest, which also touched on pain, healing, and the changes in his life. Music became a way for both of them to process the breakup and share their side of the story. Gwen Stefani, the pop Gwen Stefani icon. 3. Gwen Stefani has always stood out in the world of music and fashion. She started as the lead singer of the band No Doubt, which formed in the late 1980s. At first, the band struggled to find success, but that changed with their 1995 album, Tragic Kingdom. The album featured hits like Don't Speak and Just a Girl, and it made Gwen a household name. Her powerful voice, bold style, and emotional lyrics helped No Doubt connect with fans around the world. After years of success with the band, Gwen decided to try something new. She started her solo career in 2004 with the album Love Angel Music Baby, The album was a huge hit and included chart-topping singles like Hollaback Girl and Rich Girl. Her solo music had a different sound, more pop and dance, but it still had her unique touch. She became known not just for her music, but also for her fashion sense. She launched her own clothing line, Louisiana MB, which reflected her bold and colorful style. She wasn't just a singer, she was a trendsetter. In the early 2000s, Gwen's personal life also captured public attention. In 2002, she married Gavin Rossdale, the lead singer of the rock band. Their relationship brought together two big stars from different parts of the music world. The media often called them rock royalty because of their fame and style. They seemed like a strong couple, balancing careers in music with a shared love for family and privacy. Together, Gwen and Gavin had 3 sons, Kingston, Zuma, and Apollo. Gwen often talked about how much she loved being a mom. Even while managing her busy career, she made Cerrito spend time with her children and protect their privacy. Fans admired how she juggled motherhood and music and how she always put her family first. For many years, Gwen and Gavin seemed like one of the most stable couples in their entertainment world. They kept most of the relationship private and stayed out of the drama that often surrounds celebrity couples. But in 2015, their marriage came to an unexpected end. Gwen filed for divorce, and soon after the reason became public. It was revealed that Gavin had been unfaithful. Reports said that he had a long-term affair with the family's nanny. The news shocked fans and deeply hurt Gwen. She later said in interviews that she felt blindsided and heartbroken. It was a painful time, especially because she was also focused on raising her young children and continuing her career. The divorce was finalized in 2016,